There are multiple data entry methods for inputting lots into the auction method software system. This video tutorial covers the web-based data entry method. Once you're logged in as an administrator, select the auction that you're working on. Then from the main menu, select the lots option and then add lots. If you have not already selected a data entry method for the auction, you'll be presented with this drop-down from which you'll select web-based data entry and hit the Save button. And then the first thing to do is to turn on the help text if you're new here, and then press the Add Pictures option. So the first thing we're going to do is add some pictures. There are two upload mechanisms here. The first one, called HTML Uploader, is the default mechanism, and it is usually the fastest. However, if you're experiencing any performance issues with that tool, then you'll want to select the Serial Uploader. It's a little bit slower, but it doesn't depend so much on your browser and internet connection to be of high caliber. So within the image upload tool, you can either just drag and drop your images here, or you can just press within the gray area to select the pictures that you want to upload. Now I'm going to go ahead and just add a few images here. Once these images have been uploaded and processed, then we'll be presented with an option to continue. So you can, from here, you can just press the please click here, the here option in order to continue, or you can press back to pictures. So once we're looking at the pictures, you can see this is the area that we're going to be working in. This form of data entry does assume two things, one of which is that the lead image for a lot is going to be the first image in a series, and that the lot number itself is contained somehow or other in the last image. So you can see here that we have some lot numbers, like in this case, 101, 102, and 103. And those are the last picture for each lot. Usually, when you're doing this type of data entry, this is just a picture of the lot with a lot sticker in it. However, for demonstration purposes, we've just included a lot number itself. Now, this interface does allow you to drag and drop images, so you can move things around as needed. And the interface also allows you to edit the images, preview the images, and remove the images. But what we're most interested in doing is creating new lots. And so what we're going to do is press the New Lot button right above the image that contains the lot number, meaning the last image of the lot is the one where we press New Lot. And then from here, you'll notice the various features, the various options you have for performing data entry. The lot number field is already filled out here. It's already assumed that you're starting with lot number 1. However, we're going to go ahead and enter lot number 101 there, since that's what our label says. You'll notice over here on the right-hand side that the last image is displayed first, and then the lead image, and so on and so forth. That's so that you can clearly see which lot number you're working on. Now the options over here to the right, let's just cover them briefly. A featured lot is one that will show up in the featured lot slideshow on the home page if you're using that option. The no CC payment means no credit card payment is allowed for this lot. Once it's on an invoice, it cannot be paid with a credit card if you select this option. And if you tax the premium only, then sales tax will be applicable to the buyer's premium only. None of these features are required. They're all optional. The sequence number is also an optional field that you can use if you want to sort the auction in an order that's different than lot number. So by default, all of the lots in the auction are ordered sequentially. So lot number 101, then 102, then 103, and 104, and so on. However, if you want to reorder the lot in some way, you can assign sequence numbers. The sequence numbers are not necessarily unique IDs, so you might have multiple lots in sequence 0 and then other lots in sequence 1. Either way, what happens is it will sort the auction first by sequence number and then by lot number if you use the sequence number. Some of the fields here are inherited from the auction itself, the auction settings. So for example, the buyer's premium is already set, but you can change it. The tax codes are already here. You can change those as well. Now, as far as categorization goes, a categorization is not required, but if you are using categories, then you'll want to select the category here. If you are planning on entering multiple lots all in the same category, then you can select the option that says persist category. And that means that future lots that you enter will automatically have the same category selected until you unclick this. You can also add a new category on the fly as you're going by pressing the add new category option. If there are any special fees other than a buyer's premium that apply to this particular auction, either for consigners or for buyers, then you can select those fees in the fees dropdown. You can change the quantity associated with the lot. By default, the quantity is always going to be 1. However, if you enter a quantity such as 10, then the bid amount will be multiplied by the quantity when bids are placed, also known as so much times the money. However, we're going to go ahead and leave the quantity at 1. The increment scheme associated with the lot is also inherited from the auction settings. You can change it here. And if you want to see what those increments look like, you can hover over the little eye element and it'll display the increments to you. The starting bid is also inherited from the auction settings. You can change this to anything that you want, though. This is just the starting bid. Now, the reserve price is an optional field, but let's say that you do have a reserve price on this lot, $100. You'll see that once I enter a reserve price amount, then I receive several different options here for how we're going to communicate the reserve price to the bidders. And so again, you can hover over the eye and it'll show you that what happens is if you select none, then it doesn't tell the bidders that there's a reserve price. If you select standard, then it'll tell them that there's a reserve price and it will state that the reserve has either been met or it's not been met. And if you select pending, then what that means is until the reserve bid amount is met, then the sale will be flagged as pending. And once it's been met, then the item will be flagged as guaranteed sale. If you have one or more videos of the item on YouTube, you can enter the YouTube URLs or the YouTube IDs here. You can enter more than one simply by separating them with a comma. Then we can enter a title for the lot. Sorry, there we go. And you can enter a description. You'll see that the description is a rich text editor that allows you to format the contents of the description. You can do things like add links, upload graphics. You can even get really fancy and examine the source code of the rich text and modify it as you want. Typically, people just leave it alone, though. They just enter the information and don't modify the format at all. The location of the item or the lot is inherited as well from the auction level settings and can be changed here. And last but not least is the location ID, which is an optional field. And this is just for administrative purposes in case you need to be able to specify where in the location or on the location the item is located. Now, once you've entered all of this information, you can just press the add button. And you'll notice that all of the pictures are now gone, the ones that were associated with that lot, and we're moved on to the next one. So again, I can drag and drop if I want to. So we'll just do like this. And I can press the new lot button again. And you'll see that the lot number has been incremented sequentially. So we were on 101. Now we're going to go to 102. And all of the same options apply. So, and you'll see down here for the category, you'll see that the recent categories that you used were here. That allows you to quickly change back to that category in case you didn't select the persist option before. So we'll just go ahead and add another lot title. The description field is optional. You don't have to enter a description. And the only thing that's really required is a lot number and a title. We'll go ahead and add that one. Now we have one more lot, and I'm going to go ahead and just enter that one really quick. So, and press add. Now, all of my pictures are gone because I've created lots from all of them. So the next step is to go to where it says review lots. And from here, you can select the lots for removal if you want to, if you need to. You can review and edit the lots. This is just a little review phase. Many people just skip this and they just press the button right here that says add all lots. And when you do that, the lots for this auction have been created, and you can click here to review those lots. So here's a list of the lots that we just created. That's how simple that is. Thanks for watching.